We good?
Hello, hello.
You guys hear us?
Mic check. Hello.
We back on?
There we go. I think we're back on.
Hearing bleeps, someone said?
Hearing
But they
bleeps.
were also 10 seconds delayed.
Let's see. Yeah. I'm going to turn... Yep, it's on. Hey,
Come
guys.
on.
What's going on? Jebb here. Switch to me real quick, Smay.
Yeah, you're on you.
Welcome to the Crypto Jebb YouTube channel, where we are fraught with technical difficulties because we have a setup that is super complicated. Guys, I'm going to do a behind-the-scenes video of our set sometime after this show, just to show you guys. Make sure to follow our story. I will show you everything that's going on around here. There's like 20 billion miles of cables around here. Anyway... let's start over. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here. And in today's live stream, we are going to be talking about a plethora of different news articles. We're also going to be doing some Bitcoin and Cardano technical analysis. We're going to be coming out with some Bitcoin price predictions, and I'm going to show you the current state of the Bitcoin chart. And we are going to be comparing and contrasting Bitcoin and gold, and I'm going to show you through this recession that we've been going through ever since COVID-19 started, the massive amount of M2 money supply inflation on the US dollar and other currencies you would expect would drive quite a bit of value to gold, but instead that value is getting driven to Bitcoin. We have quite a lot to cover in today's video, guys. If you do enjoy today's video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I am joined as always by the Crypto Beard, none other than non-crypto Tim, your president. Tim?
Yes. Hey, how you guys doing? Also, that soundbite, it's okay. We're going to have to punish Smay by making him trade all of his Bitcoin for Doge.
Yes.
So that will be handled.
We're going to make Smay buy a ton of Dogecoin because of that. By the way,
fair punishment. If
you didn't know, we actually did a Dogecoin price prediction yesterday. The editor in charge has now been sacked, and so Dogecoin price prediction went up yesterday. I'm joking, by the way. Definitely not high. Zach didn't go anywhere. Guys, I'm also joined, as always, by our producer, who was able to fix that issue very quickly, I might say. Good job, Smay. We actually just moved around some of our stuff. You don't care. Welcome to the show, Smay. How are you doing? Smay?
Hello, guys. I'm playing the soundbite over.
Oh, okay. Crypto Beard and Crypto Weird is what they called us.
I'll take it.
That's not bad.
Wait, am I the weird one or are you the weird one? I can be both.
I don't know. I guess you're both.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Guys, if you do enjoy today's video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And before we get started, I do want to mention that this stream is brought to you by none other than the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. That's the academy that we offer that over 3,500 students have gone through and used to better their lives by educating themselves in technical analysis. You can find more information at the link in the description box down below. However, guys, before we get started, I do believe that we need to go over price predictions because we made some price predictions on Wednesday. We're actually going to be shaking up the way that we do price predictions moving on to the future. But for today, let's go ahead and go over what everyone predicted. Tim, do you have those numbers?
I do have the numbers. So
the Beard has the numbers.
We predicted these on Wednesday, and I don't remember. I didn't write down what the price of Bitcoin was at that moment, so that I do apologize. It was 58 something, I believe. But Jebb voted 62,000. Smay, the pessimist, and the sound guy voted 58.5. So you guys can do what you want with that one. And your president, Tim, who, listen, I'm wrong, but I voted 62,147. That is coming true. I just was wrong about the time. But Smay wins. Another tally on his vote.
Let's go, Smay.
But I think we should have Team Green.
That was a wash. How about that, guys? Guys, we are going to go ahead and jump straight on into some Bitcoin technical analysis. So if we'll jump on over to the chart, we will get started. Good deal. Guys, Bitcoin has been rallying over the last 7 days. Not quite as much as Ethereum, but shout out. We're actually going to be talking about Ethereum in a video this afternoon. Everybody's been wanting new videos to be coming out, right? Well, there's a video coming out this afternoon on Ethereum technical analysis. Make sure you stay tuned for that. You guys asked for it. You guys are getting it. Bitcoin is up 20%. Over the last week, we've rallied from $50,000 at bottom to $60,000 where we currently sit, $59,100 to be exact. What I want to do here is zoom into the 4-hourly chart and show you guys that Bitcoin is trading more or less sideways, but it is in a couple of very important patterns. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this vertical line because everything else here is actually pretty relevant to what we're discussing. $59,600 is, relatively speaking, a very important level of resistance as we actually used it as resistance back over here on the 18th and 19th of March. Bitcoin also has support sitting right here around $58,400. Those are two levels that Bitcoin is currently sitting in between. We can also see that Bitcoin has an uptrending level of support right here and an uptrending level of now resistance right here. If I get rid of everything else and just show you this level, I think this is the most important of the ones I'll be discussing. You can see that Bitcoin had several touches on this uptrending level of support. Unfortunately, Bitcoin was unable to maintain it. Guys, this is not a bad thing for Bitcoin that Bitcoin broke below this. It's actually perfectly fine. Whenever you have an uptrending level of support like this, if it gets too steep, then naturally Bitcoin is going to be unable to maintain that, and it is going to break below it. So, in fact, we traded sideways through it, and we actually used this uptrending level of support now as resistance, so we should go ahead and switch this to red for resistance. Guys, I do want to give you an update on the inverse head and shoulders pattern that we've been discussing here over the last several days. As you guys know, we have an inverse H and S right here, and we can actually go ahead and switch this to let's go ahead and switch this to blue for support, and we can draw a price target based on this downtrend in this let's see, inverse head and shoulders pattern. There we go. I can speak, guys. If you'll remember, non-crypto Tim, the crypto beard. I got to get used to calling you the crypto beard.
That's okay.
The crypto beard and I made a prediction, roughly the same, that Bitcoin would be going to in between $62,000 and $63,000 over the next few weeks. As you can see, our price target has a price target up here around $62,300, and we are not quite there just yet. But what you will see is that Bitcoin has gone into a bull flag. What does that mean? It means that Bitcoin has been rallying to the upside, is trading sideways, and generally speaking, especially considering all the other technicals that we've been following on this channel, Bitcoin should be breaking above this trading channel and rally all the way up to $63,000 in the next couple of days. I do believe that before Monday, we will likely be above $60,000, and we have a plethora of reasons to believe that. One more thing I want to point out, guys, is that on the 4-hourly chart, we can see that Bitcoin is currently respecting the 20 exponential moving average. I almost call it the 20 daily exponential moving average. We're respecting the 20 exponential moving average on the 4-hourly chart. And so long as Bitcoin stays above that, we are still in a 4-hourly uptrend, so keep an eye on that indicator. I will also point your attention to this. You can see, guys, that we actually had a spinning top on our candlestick just yesterday. For anyone who knows Japanese candlestick analysis, which is actually in charting the basis of all technical analysis, you will know that this is called a spinning top. This is something else that we teach in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, linked in the description box down below, is what a spinning top is. What is a spinning top? It is a candlestick that has a very small body, as you can see right here. It can be blue, it can be green, or it can be red, but we have very long, equal length wickses. We can see that these wicks are very similar in length, and as you can see, it looks like a dreidel. It looks like a spinning top, and what it signals is indecision. It signals that we don't actually know which direction we're going to go, which is exactly what we've been saying. We've been saying that Bitcoin is relatively undecided right now about where Bitcoin wants to head. However, looking at the MACD, it's a different story because the MACD crossed bullish 2 days ago. Remember, I've talked about this like 3 times this week, so I'm not going to bring it up again, but I'm going to bring it up, but I'm not going to go into too much detail, that the MACD crossing bullish indicates that Bitcoin should go into a pretty large uptrend. We also see that RSI on the daily chart is only sitting at 61, indicating that there is plenty of strength left in the bulls. And looking at the daily chart, 20 EMA, finally this time, we are quite a bit above that, indicating that we are in an uptrend. We should be expecting for Bitcoin to go to $60,000. It just makes sense. So, Smay, if you'll switch back to me real quick, I want to go ahead and introduce you guys to some of the news that we're going to be talking about. One of the biggest things that we want to talk about is why Bitcoin is stuck below $60,000, and we want to talk about some of the reasons that we believe we will be getting above $60,000. So, Tim, can you kind of introduce us to this article that I'm about to show, the CoinDesk article, market wrap, Bitcoin stuck below $60,000, and all of that. Smay, if you'll switch back to him, and then give me a bit of information on what we're looking at here.
Well, so what we're seeing, as you guys have been watching the chart, we keep seeing Bitcoin get very close to 60. Obviously, we went over it when we hit all-time high, but then we quickly dropped back below. There is a psychological barrier sitting right there that a lot of analysts are looking at, saying that we keep pushing that 59.5, 59.7, but then it'll bounce right back down. So what we're seeing here, and Jebb, I think, is looking at the chart right now, is the trading keeps bouncing off that 60 and coming back down, but the hodling is going up. And we have an article we're going to look at a little bit later showing you guys the numbers on hodling. But as soon as we're able to break this $60,000 barrier, which we actually did slightly this morning, is what I saw. But when we break it securely is when we're going to see that level of psychological resistance be done, and then we're going to keep going and shooting maybe closer to a $75,000 maybe psychological barrier.
Exactly. So Smash, just switch back to full screen for me. What I want to go ahead and break down for you guys, we've looked at the technicals. Now I want to discuss the fundamentals a little bit. Bitcoin's technicals are saying that we should be rallying above $60,000. But of course, technicals are not the only way that we do analysis on markets. We also need to look at the fundamental analysis of the markets. What does the adoption of the space look like? How many people are hodling in this cryptocurrency market? How much regulatory clarity is there in this market? We have a ton that we're going to get into in today's video, but I'll sum it all up very quickly. It's very good. And the point that Tim is making is that as Bitcoin is rejecting against $60,000 in that zone of resistance in between about 58 and 62,000, what we are seeing happen is that more and more people are hodling Bitcoin. The mining difficulty on Bitcoin is going up. The hash rate on Bitcoin is going up. The adoption of Bitcoin is going up. The awareness of Bitcoin is going up. The regulatory clarity of Bitcoin is going up. The development of Bitcoin is going up. The growth of industry in cryptocurrency, like the growth of companies like Coinbase and Gemini and Poloniex and Bittrex and all these different companies is going up. The underlying intrinsic value of Bitcoin and its accommodating ecosystem is going up. Specifically, I want to hone in on that point of the hodlers because even more people are hodling Bitcoin now than ever. I don't believe we have that note in our planning document, but I do believe that we had some research that we saw a couple of weeks ago saying that more people are hodling Bitcoin now than they ever have been. I forget exactly what that number was, but I can tell you this. More people are in cryptocurrency right now than ever have been in the history of this industry, and it's only going up. So when we see Bitcoin rejecting off of $60,000, my friends, I want to encourage you. Ask yourself two questions. What are the technicals saying? What are the fundamentals saying? The technicals, we see a bullish MACD cross going on. That's good enough for me to think that Bitcoin's about to break $60,000. I could stop there and be pretty confident in that based on historical analysis, but I didn't. I went and did a ton of I went and did a ton of technical analysis on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is not going to stop at $60,000 because of many reasons that we've covered on this channel over the last several days. Not only that, the fundamentals are very strong, guys.
Let us know in chat. Are you someone who is newer to the crypto community who is hodling? I am. Like I said, I got in last August, and I'm massively a Bitcoin hodler. So let us know in chat if that's you. The article, Jebb, if you look at the notes from the planning, is right there under the number of hodlers growing. Click on that link right there.
Number of hodlers growing. I have that.
Yep, we have that
there
link.
We go.
Yeah, let us know in chat though.
Go ahead and switch to this article. Let me show this to these guys. I was pulling from something later on in the stream to make a point. Bitcoin newbies are hodling as price rise, blockchain data suggests. The new generation of hodlers were forged during market rallies over the past year and show no signs of slowing down. Guys, there are a bunch of different things that we're going to talk about in here, just so you know. This one right here is a very important one. But as far as this is concerned, we can see there is a new generation of Bitcoin hodlers. New research from Glassnode, who we highly recommend, by the way, for all of their technical and fundamental on-chain indicators and data. Go to glassnode.com. In fact, if I open this link over here, I think this is their website. Glassnode.com is a fantastic website. That's a resource that'll be helpful for you. New research from Glassnode, an on-chain data analysis platform, shows continued growth in Bitcoin held between 1 month and 6 months, indicating strong conviction behind the recent price rally. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but everybody seems to be holding on to their Bitcoin. There isn't much bullish pressure right now, but there really isn't much selling pressure. Bitcoin's up 20% in the last week. I think you all know that. These coins were accumulated throughout the recent bull market, which means new hodlers, meaning those holding crypto, are sitting on a near 500% increase since October, which is actually something we're going to get to here in a second, about a massive 500 to 600% increase on ADA. We will leave that for a little bit later. Bitcoin purchased between 10,800 and 58,800 now represents 25% of the total supply with no signs of slowing down. Finally, also most Bitcoin investors are moving their holdings into storage, which suggests less interest in short-term trading. As profitable as short-term trading is, guys, saving Bitcoin and hodling it and taking it out of circulating supply and decreasing the overall amount of cryptocurrency on the market is naturally, by simple laws of economics and currency exchange, going to cause Bitcoin to go into rally because the demand will have less supply. If you drop the supply, then you're going to be good. Over the past 12 months, over 3% of circulating Bitcoin supply has migrated out of exchange and into third-party wallets, according to Glassnode. So, Smitty, switch back to me real quick. The point I'm making here, and we're going to move on after this because I actually want to talk about something Mark Cuban said, which is crazy. Bitcoin is doing very well, guys. The fundamentals look very strong. The technicals look very strong. And if you're wondering when Bitcoin is going to break above $62,000, I can tell you this with a high degree of certainty, high degree of likelihood. I think it's going to happen very, very soon. So, Tim, do you have any thoughts on that? Mr. Crypto Beard.
No, at the end of the day, man, so we had some articles in here. We talked about these articles before, so we don't even have to show them necessarily. Just look at all of the fundamentals. Like, why did Jebb predict 62,000? Why did I predict 147? It hasn't happened yet, but the information is just sitting there. We talked about the other day the BlackRock and Goldman news of how these are two investing firms where their clients are demanding that they produce futures contracts, that they actually go and invest them for them. That's a massive sign of adoption for Bitcoin. We talked about the PayPal adoption. Now that you can buy and exchange and receive through PayPal, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, so on and so forth. We had the Tesla adoption. Now you can purchase Teslas with Bitcoin. Now, the question there is, if you want a refund, can you get it back in Bitcoin? I don't know if Tesla's been very firm on that, but either way, that's still really big news for that adoption. Also, the fact that Tesla's going to be holding all of that Bitcoin is great news for Bitcoin. And then you just add that with, like I said, this chart. I think someone commented, like, this is old news. Yeah, it's old news, but it's something we need to remember, that list of hodlers is growing, and as that does, the floor keeps growing with it, and it will help us break these psychological barriers like 60,000 or like 75,000, or I think someone even commented 80,000 is going to be another one. As that hodler list grows, those little barriers actually become futile.
Yeah, so guys, I actually have a question for you, because I will give you a piece of information about myself. I've been in cryptocurrency since July 31st, 2017, and I have still, to this day, never once sold Bitcoin back into US dollars and cashed out. Give me a 1 in chat if that's you, and a 2 in chat if it's not you. I've never bought anything in Bitcoin because I want to hold on to it for the future to buy things in Bitcoin. I've never sold it. Therefore, I've never had to pay long-term capital gains or short-term capital gains taxes on it because I've never sold it. I've never liquidated any of my Bitcoins. And by the way, guys, my Bitcoin holdings are getting pretty large. If you'd like to see a breakdown of our portfolio, let us know. We may or may not do that. Shout out to everybody who has been in Bitcoin for quite some time. Tim, how are your portfolio and your holdings doing?
Yeah, no, so like I just told you guys, I've been hodling Bitcoin since August. I was 16, Ben. I have yet to ever sell anything, right? That being said, though, I want to know from you guys, and Jebb wants to know from you guys, what is your tactics on your Bitcoin? Are you nothing but a hodler? Do you hodl like 85%, but then sell off 15 to try to get a high market, then drop down low and get back into it? What is your guys' tactics you use on Bitcoin? Also, altcoins. What do you guys use on altcoins? Because my tendency is to pump, not pump. I don't even want to say that because I don't want to advocate pump and dump strategy. I trade on the selling the altcoins and taking those profits to put over to Bitcoin. That's my strategy, but what is yours? Yeah,
and another thing, someone said, wow, Jebb, you were 16 when you got into crypto? Yes, I was. I was 16 for 3.5 weeks before when I got into cryptocurrency. Tell me in the chat, how old were you guys when you got into cryptocurrency? How long have you been in the space? I'd actually really like to know how veteran many of our viewers are. How old are you? How old were you when you got into crypto? And how many years have you been here? Guys, I want to go ahead and talk to something that is really funny to me. Mark Cuban, I'm just going to throw that name out there. And anyway, Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, he's on Shark Tank. He's a billionaire. Switch to this article for me real quick, Smay. Mark Cuban owns 30% Ethereum of his total portfolio because it's, and I quote, closest to a true currency. Oh boy, I'm about to rip this apart. Mark Cuban recently stated that Bitcoin is a better alternative to gold and compared Ethereum smart contracts to the internet boom of the late 1990s. I agree with all of that so far. Billionaire Mark Cuban believes Ethereum is the closest thing we have to being a true currency and views Bitcoin a better alternative to gold. I disagree with the first statement, agree with the second statement. In fact, he compared the development of Ethereum's contracts to the boom in the late 90s, and he says, when the internet started to happen, you started seeing all of these applications that could disrupt things that happened in the analog world. Like when we looked at streaming because I wanted to listen to Indiana University basketball, I couldn't do that on the radio in Dallas. And he's saying that the internet disrupted that and therefore the internet became a large technology. And then he goes on to say, with Bitcoin, you could do transfers, and that was great, right? And it was a store of value, and that was awesome, right? It's a better alternative to gold, which is phenomenal. It's taking money away from gold, and that's going to continue, which, by the way, is something we're about to touch on, and that's why I own Bitcoin. But there's one thing. That's not really where it compares to the internet. Go to me real quick, Smay. I want to break that down. Because Bitcoin is not designed to be similar to the internet. He's right in that the internet was a technology that revolutionized an entire industry. It revolutionized many industries. It revolutionized every single industry because it revolutionized the world. Bitcoin is compared to the internet insofar as it will go through a mass adoption S-curve. If you know about the S-curve of adoption, I'll go ahead and throw it up on screen. Give me 1 second. Smay, if you can switch to me real quick, I will show what I'm talking about here. Every single technology goes through something called an S-curve. Let's see if I can find a good example of this. You see the innovators, then you have the very early adopters, and then you have the laggards. These innovators down here, these are the people that got into the internet when it was in 1993. This is your Jeff Bezos. The very early adopters, those are those people that would go on talk shows in 1998 and talk about the World Wide Web, and oh my gosh, you can go surfing on the World Wide Web. That was the very early adopters. And then you have these people up here at the very end. This is your grandmother who only uses the internet because she can't play Mahjong on a physical board anymore because we're in quarantine. Bitcoin is going through an exact same transition. If you'll switch back to me. Bitcoin is going through the exact same phase right now. It was in the innovation stage for the last 10 years. Right now, we're in the very early adopters. The people getting into cryptocurrency right now are that section of the community that want a little bit of safety, but they're not too concerned about it. They want to get in early, but not too early. They want to take some risk, but not too much risk. That is where we are right now. And guys, I will tell you, when roughly 15 to 18% of a population adopts a technology, the adoption snowballs and it goes crazy and it explodes all the way up very quickly to where it will eventually go. My friends, no, Bitcoin does not have an industrial application insofar as the internet does, but my friends, I will tell you this, Bitcoin is unlike anything else that has ever been brought into existence because it shares the limited supply concept of gold, has an even more limited supply than gold, it's even more scarce than gold, it's even more saleable over time than gold, and it doesn't suffer from centralization, it doesn't suffer from government control, and it doesn't suffer from the issue of having to transport gold across all kinds of countries and borders. So yes, Bitcoin is not the same thing as the internet, but it was never meant to be analogous to the internet in exactly that way. I will say this though, the fact that Mark Cuban is holding Bitcoin and Ethereum is a very good sign. I like seeing all of these very wealthy people getting into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies because some of that fundamental adoption that we've been talking about has to do with people seeing others that they trust. Yeah. How many Mark Cuban fans do you think, Tim, have gotten into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies because all of a sudden Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban is a fan of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and Doge, by the way.
Even worse, how many have gotten into Doge because now that's accepted by the Mavericks community? That's a great question.
Yeah, no, guys, seriously, the sports team, like Tim can tell you more about sports, the sports industry is a huge industry, and the fact that it's moving towards Bitcoin and cryptocurrency adoptions, guys, it's gloves off. If you've been in the space for more than 6 months, give me a 1 in chat, because if you have been in the space for more than 6 months, you will be fully aware of how much development has gone on just in the last 6 months. What used to have been the biggest news story in the history of the cryptocurrency market seems to be happening every week or two right now. We had massive stories. Was it Visa or MasterCard? It was Visa that was talking about adopting Bitcoin, right? I think we actually have that article. Visa is moving into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. PayPal's moving into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Tesla's moving into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Goodness gracious, guys. So, to wrap this whole segment out, where is my price prediction on Bitcoin? I see a price prediction on Bitcoin in the next 3 to 4 months sitting somewhere around $70,000 to $80,000. And I do think that we'll be going to over $100,000 before the year comes to its inevitable conclusion. With that, Smay, can you jump to the chart? I want to go ahead and read one last article, and then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we will be ready to move on to Cardano. Bitcoin's drop in volatility may boost appeal, make $130,000 possible, JP Morgan says. I'm sure you guys have heard the whole quote. First they hate you, first they ignore you, then they hate you, then they fight you, then they join you, or something to that effect. Right now, JP Morgan, run by CEO Jamie Dimon, was incredibly bearish on Bitcoin for a very long time. Now they are incredibly bullish on Bitcoin, and they have been for quite some time now, talking about $130,000 Bitcoin very, very soon. JP Morgan issued a note on Thursday that Bitcoin could fetch a long-term price of $130,000 if its volatility continues to decline. I will leave this up for just a second. You guys can pause and read the rest of these points, but I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it all up in a bow. So may go ahead and switch back. Here's the deal. Massive investment banks are being forced to get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Tim, you know a lot more of the names than I do. We're talking about, well, first of all, PayPal, but PayPal's not an investment bank. We're talking about JP Morgan. We're talking about Goldman Sachs. We're talking about BlackRock, thank you. BlackRock with $9 trillion in assets under management. Their customers are forcing these major investment banks and these major investment firms to get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. The demand is skyrocketing, and these old school banks, these old school traditional investment firms that for the majority of their history have only ever worked on stocks and commodities are now being forced to get into Bitcoin because popular demand is becoming so great that they simply can't ignore that part of their audience anymore. BlackRock is being forced to get into the Bitcoin futures market because their clients are demanding it, and they simply can't ignore it anymore. This, guys, is very good news. Tim, do you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, I want to clarify actually something you said earlier, just for you guys in chat. When Jebb was talking about Visa it has not adopted Bitcoin yet. But the key word there is yet, because now with that PayPal news coming out the day after Visa, right now Visa is just supporting the Ethereum blockchain. How long before Visa actually gets into Bitcoin as well? But either way, Jebb just gave you his opinion. We've given our opinion. The purpose of this channel is so that you guys hear our opinion, but you think for yourselves. So let us know what you think. With this whole Mark Cuban news, at the end of the day, whether we think it or not, Jebb just clarified to you what Bitcoin is, what it was made for. But the fact is, it is being used as a commodity. So will Bitcoin actually ever become a full-out currency? We think it will, but what do you think? Or will it stay a commodity? What we do know, and that was the title of this video, is that there was a tweet by Michael Saylor the other day. Jebb, I don't know if you want to pull that up.
I have that up, yeah. If you
where
want
he
to
literally says gold doesn't work anymore. Bitcoin broke it, and then you can see the chart of what it looked like to invest $1 into gold versus into Bitcoin.
Yep.
That's the thing. Whether Bitcoin ever becomes a currency or not, it will be a commodity. So the question becomes, will it stay a commodity like gold and just blow gold even further out of the water? Or will it become a cryptocurrency? Or it already a cryptocurrency. Will it become a fiat currency we use
a
all
widely
the time?
adopted currency? It'll never be a fiat currency. Fiat currency means government money.
But yeah, tell us what you guys think, because like I said, we think it is. We think Bitcoin is the future of currency. Mark Cuban doesn't agree, and that's okay. You don't have to agree. That's the point of opinions.
Yep, and absolutely. And guys, on that note, if Smay, are we on the screen?
Yeah, 1 second. The battery died in that camera.
Okay,
No.
well, guys, go ahead.
So Tim, just talk
Yeah,
for a
okay.
second, yeah.
Okay, well, Tim,
It's
you
the
can go
Crypto
ahead.
Beard Show now,
Tim,
guys. That's
Tim,
what's up.
Does it have the chart up so I can keep going?
Yeah, the chart's up.
The chart's up? Okay, guys, Tim, if you want to go ahead and keep talking about gold, or I can, and then we will go ahead and...
I mean, the thing is, like I've said what I had to say about gold. It's not that gold is bad, but I do know what we were looking at earlier is that gold is declining. It's declining in terms of what it's, people investing in it, because people are seeing Bitcoin. When we talk about that Goldman BlackRock news, who these people demanding BlackRock and Goldman allow them to invest in Bitcoin? Well, where do you think they're coming from? These are the people that have been investing in gold and thinking, oh man, I'm going to use gold to fight inflation, because ultimately that's the purpose of gold and Bitcoin. They are turning that attention from gold into Bitcoin.
Yep.
And again, Michael Saylor is just a person with an opinion. I think he has a very good opinion. You're welcome to disagree, and go ahead and say in chat whether you like Michael Saylor, whether you don't like Michael Saylor. But at the end of the day, you can't argue with the numbers he's presenting, that every single day Bitcoin is continuing to outperform gold. I don't even have this website up there, but I know that we've seen we got there we go, Smay in the screen. There we go. Yay.
I'm changing out.
We got so many technical difficulties today. I'm so sorry, guys.
I'm so sorry. Our charger's broken out there.
Ew.
Guys, what we're talking about here is that I want to just go ahead and, even though I don't know if you guys can see me right now, but I will go ahead and tell you, over the last 200 days or so, ever since August of last year, we have seen gold has pulled back 20% from its all-time high spot price of 194 over on the SPDR Gold Trust, down to where it sits now, about 157 a share. We see, on the other hand, in the last 240 days, that Bitcoin has done what? Bitcoin has rallied, let's see, 560% in the same time that gold has dropped 20%. What does that mean? It means that value during this economic turmoil that we are going through right now. By the way, I want to be very clear on this. The M2 money supply on the US dollar, which actually I will go ahead and get M2 money supply chart. This is completely off script, but I want to show you guys this. The M2 money supply for the US dollar has increased an incredible amount. We have seen a massive increase in the M2 money supply on the US dollar, especially over the last several months. You can see right here, it was sitting at 16 trillion, I believe, and it's sitting now at nearly 20 trillion. We've had something like a 20% jump in the last, Smay, if you'll switch back to me, I think we've seen somewhere around a 20 to 30, 40% increase in the overall supply of the US dollar. What does that mean? It means the US dollar is becoming devalued, and it means that inflationary monetary policy that our central government is undergoing right now is taking money out of the US dollar, pulling it into government programs, and then trying to say, here, we're going to give it right back to you, right? Okay, we're going to give it back in stimulus packages. Well, if you had have never taken it in the first place and let the economy go through the recession that it needed to, yes, it would have been bad, but it would have meant that the US dollar would have stayed strong for the future. But unfortunately, my friends, that is not what is happening. The US dollar is suffering right now, as is every single other currency in the world. The effects of what government policy is doing right now has not caught up with the world, but it is moving value into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So keep that in mind, guys. We're going to go ahead and move on to some Cardano, I do believe.
Good. We did the price predictions and everything?
Yes, we did.
We're good.
Guys, we're going to go ahead and move on to Cardano because I know you guys are interested in Cardano. So, Smay, if you'll go ahead and show them the chart.
Yep. Before we get there, though, I know we've had a lot of difficulties, but if you guys like the content, because we can't even really necessarily say the viewing, the sound, everything, we'll get this fixed. If you like the content of what's happening, because this is helping you, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, because these problems aren't going to last here forever. We're going to get them fixed. But now we're about to jump into Cardano and give you everything you need to know in that front.
Good deal, guys. So if you do enjoy today's live stream, thank you so much for your patience during everything. Go ahead and smash that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. By the way, like I said, awesome announcement. There will be an Ethereum price prediction video coming out later on today. So make sure you subscribe and smash that post notification bell, guys. Old school videos are on their way back. I know you guys have been looking forward to that. They are coming. That video will be about 8-9 minutes long. If you're interested, consider staying tuned for just a little bit. But let's go ahead and talk about Cardano. As you guys know, Cardano has been trading sideways for the last 7 days or so. Cardano has really figured out exactly where it wants to trade. Cardano was going into a massive rally. And in fact, this is something that I want to show you guys. Cardano in quarter one, that's January, February, and March, rallied more than any other major altcoin in the entire market. It rallied 560% in 90 days. In fact, if I go ahead and show you this right here, Cardano's chart is actually ridiculous if you take the log chart off. Cardano seems to be trading sideways right now, but everyone forgot that just 45 days ago, where we are sitting right now was moonshot territory. Cardano is also, I want to go ahead and jump into the technicals here, is trading sideways, but yes, it is sitting above the 20 daily EMA. Guys, if you haven't taken CT2A, the link's in the description box down below. Everybody always comments how CT2A has changed their life whenever I bring it up. Tell us if you're an alumni of CT2A, link's in the description. In that course, there is a video talking about the 20 daily EMA, and I cover how important it is for your technical analysis because it determines whether you're in an uptrend or whether you're in a downtrend. Right now, Cardano is in a sideways trend. Cardano is moving sideways, but it is still above the 20 daily EMA, which is a very good sign of health. We can also see that on the daily chart MACD, we very well may be having a bullish cross on MACD in a little bit. Cardano is going to need to go into a strong rally for that, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because if Cardano rallies in a strong fashion, breaks some resistance, major resistance is sitting around $1.24 right now, and around $1.28. If Cardano manages to rally and break above either one of these levels of resistance, the MACD is going to moonshot. The MACD is going to go bullish, and Cardano could very easily rally to $1.50 and beyond. Let me give you an analogy. Right now, Cardano is sitting on a powder keg and it's waiting to see if somebody's going to come by and set a fuse to it. Cardano has everything it needs to blast off. The only question is it going to? If it doesn't and it breaks below the 20 daily EMA, our support zone is right down here around $1. That is where Cardano could fall to, and Cardano also has support down here around 75 cents, as that's a big even, and you can see that we have previous trading around here. Do I think that's going to happen? No, guys, I don't. I think that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to go into large-scale rallies relatively soon. In fact, Ethereum is rallying back to all-time high in the middle of recording this video. Let me go ahead and show you guys this. We are mere dollars from Ethereum's all-time high, literally less than 1% away from it. So if Bitcoin and and Ethereum start going into major rallies and return back to their all-time highs and break them, you can bet that Cardano is going to rally enough to set a bullish MACD cross in motion and see massive volume resurgences, because the volume's been incredibly low on Cardano lately. And because, by the way, if you'll go to full screen, Smay, I want to go ahead and tell everyone, we actually just saw that Cardano became fully decentralized as far as block creation. IOHK is no longer involved with the block creation on Cardano. Cardano is fully decentralized as far as block creation and staking and everything is concerned. So with all of that in mind, the fundamentals on Cardano look very strong. The technicals are primed and ready for a breakout. So if we continue to see Bitcoin rally, Ethereum rally, and the total cryptocurrency markets rally, we should be seeing the exact same thing happen on Cardano. Guys, I want to hear your take on Cardano. What do you think about Cardano? Are you an investor in Cardano? Are you not an investor in Cardano? Do you prefer Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, or Polkadot? Which is your favorite cryptocurrency to invest in? And where do you think Cardano is going? I'll go ahead and tell you where I think Cardano is going. I think in the next month or so, Cardano will be rallying back to $1.50, and I think that it's going to break that and it's going to rally to new all-time highs. I think it's going to take a little while. I think it's going to have to do so in keeping with Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I do think it's going to happen. Tim, what is the chat saying, and what do you think about Cardano?
I actually love what's happening in the chat. Well, was having a little bit ago, people were talking about weed and Bitcoin and investing in it, and someone said back in 2013 they were considering Bitcoin, but weed kept them out of it. Yeah, that's pretty rough. I would say back for me, it was, I think, 2017. It wasn't weed. Unfortunately, it wasn't weed. It was conspiracy theories. Like, I don't know. Have you ever been sold on Bitcoin based off of the conspiracy theory? So for me, it was actually, there's no camera for me anymore.
Oh, there's no
battery.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. All right, well, guys,
okay.
I'm the invisible crypto beard
Hi.
now. So I'll tell you my story real quick, and then I'll get back to Jebb. The reason I didn't get into Bitcoin, and I should have, because this was in 2017. I think it was sitting somewhere around $900, something there. And the guy who was trying to get me in on it was trying to convince me that in Revelations, when it talks about the one world currency, it automatically, this is 100% Bitcoin. And I don't know, maybe it is, but I just have made a practice not to do things based off of conspiracy theories.
Tim
but
loves his
maybe that was,
theories.
maybe I should, in hindsight, I should have listened to the guy. But yeah, what is your story? What caused you to get into Bitcoin, and what maybe is a story that kept you away from Bitcoin for a little bit?
Someone's calling you the invisible beard.
I'm the invisible beard. I love
like
it.
that. He's the invisible beard, guys. At least we have one of our cameras working. All kinds of technical difficulties
This is a
today.
rough one.
We will make sure that this doesn't happen again. Someone said Ethereum is pumping. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum really quickly, Smay. Let's go off the rails a little bit because I do want to keep people up to date on Ethereum, because you guys are absolutely right. Ethereum is indeed pumping. I have a resistance level up here defining our previous all-time high that is sitting right around $2,037. Ethereum is about a $12 away from that all-time high figure. Give me a 1 in chat if you think Ethereum is going to rally to and break above its all-time high figure today. As someone who holds a ton of Ethereum, I am very pleased with this news, and I would very much like to see Ethereum rally above. Want to give chat a question. Are you planning on selling Ethereum once it breaks all-time high? I believe that it's going to break all-time high, if not right now, relatively soon. In fact, guys, I'm just going to tell you what my instinct is saying. I have a gut feeling, which you don't move on gut feelings. You make sure you do your research. So I'm just saying what I'm feeling. I have a gut feeling that we're probably going to break this very, very soon. In fact, it might happen before the stream's over. So make sure you have your own charts up. Make sure that you are looking at trading Ethereum on whatever exchange you're on, because there is potential right here. In fact, guys, I'm going to take even more of a detour because I want to give you guys trade setups on this. I will go ahead and show you how you can go about trading an Ethereum breakout, because there is going to be an Ethereum breakout relatively soon. I think if we see Ethereum break soundly above about $2,050, we should be seeing a major rally on it. And I'm sure you guys would like to get in on a trade like that. Here's how we're going to go about setting this up. For anyone who has not gone through CT2A, because this is something we talk about in the Academy. By the way, if you want to learn how to trade, technical analysis is the tool that you need to know how to trade. It's very important that you understand the math so that you can do physics. Learning physics without math is a joke, right? Well, you don't learn how to trade without technical analysis. That's why we teach you guys technical analysis with the first link in the description box down below. You can join for a lifetime membership to CT2A today. Anyway, guys, in the course, we talk about different trade setups, and I want to go ahead and show you how I'll do a trade setup on this chart. We want to go ahead and grab a long position and jump it over here. I'm going to double click this, and I'm going to put my entry price somewhere that I believe would be a safe area to enter Ethereum, and I'm going to tell you I think that safe area would be roughly around $2,055. To be honest, I'm going to put it up another $5 to $2,055. That's our entry price. As far as stop loss, because guys, unfortunately, some people don't use stop losses and they get liquidated out of trades. I want to be very clear on one thing. You never have a reason to enter a trade without a stop loss. If you ever enter a trade without a stop loss, you have made a mistake. This is a cardinal sin of technical analysis and trading, is you never enter a trade without a stop loss. Anytime I give you a hypothetical trade setup, which this is purely hypothetical, but this is something that you could use, you always use a stop loss. What is a stop loss? It's an automatic sell order that cancels your trade if the market drops too fast. Because if you're in a long trade and you're buying Bitcoin and you're expecting Bitcoin or Ethereum to go up and then it starts going down, you don't want to sit there and lose more money than you need to, right? That's what stop losses are for. So I'll show you a stop loss here. I would put the stop loss roughly around where Ethereum is right now. I'm actually going to double click on this and I'm going to put it at $2,025. As far as price targets are concerned, I don't have a price target off the top of my head, so let's do a little bit of analysis. I believe that a price target here is going to have something to do with either fundamentals or Fibonacci extension, not retracement, Fibonacci extension. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and draw from these highs. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to draw from this high right here to this low right here, and I'm going to see that Fibonacci extension gives me a golden ratio number of 1.618 sitting right up here at $2,200. And in fact, I kind of like that number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back down to the hourly chart. I'm going to go to my price setup, my trade setup right here. I'm going to double click it, and instead of putting $2,200, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put $2,175 and not $2,200. And that's my stop. I did not mean to do that. Let's do that again. I'm going to put $2,175, and the reason for that is because that's going to give me a 4x risk-to-reward ratio, but even if Ethereum doesn't rally all the way to $2,200 and only gets to 175, that's okay. We'll still get exited out of that trade. As you can see here, this trade setup will calculate a risk-to-reward ratio for you. That's how much you're standing to lose versus how much you're standing to gain. If you consistently make trades with high risk-to-reward ratios, you are very, very likely to consistently make high profit on those trades. Remember, guys, trading is not about having a perfect trade every single time. Trading is about consistently having a high probability of being profitable, because if you average out 1,000 trades and you're more likely to profit than not, then over the course of 1,000 trades, what's going to happen? You're going to make profit. So Smeg, go back to me. I wanted to go ahead and show you guys a potential trade setup on Ethereum. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below and in the chat. And next to us, do you think that Ethereum is about to break all-time high? And if so, where do you think it's going to go? Yeah. Bitcoin. I just called you Bitcoin. Hey, Bitcoin. Hey, the crypto Bitcoin. Hey, the crypto beard. Where do you think Ethereum is going? Because I know that you have some investments in Ethereum, don't you?
Yeah, no, for those of you who are just joining and are wanting to hear stuff about Cardano, we got into this conversation because, obviously those two correlate a lot.
Yep.
On this show, we've done a lot of back and forth. And I'm just realizing I don't have a camera, so why am I looking at the camera? We've done a lot of back and forth, Jebb, about Ethereum and Cardano. There's big news on Ethereum, and I think you're going to be covering that in this afternoon's video, so I don't want to necessarily talk about that. And I don't want to say big news, nothing like breaking, but you're going to be covering the details of it in this video. That being said, there are times where I think even you guys can agree Ethereum was not looking so great. It's not that it was going away into the darkness. It's not that it was disappearing and dying. It just was not really doing much of anything. And actually, if you look at YouTube algorithms and you look at the YouTube SEO on what was happening, not many people wanted to know anything about Ethereum. I think that is changing, and with that, the price is also changing and is going up. Do I think Ethereum is going to 20,000 like some people suspect? No, I don't think that's going to happen.
Not soon, anyway.
But I do think that Ethereum is actually on a little bit of a run. Now, here's the thing about Cardano, and I don't know if we've talked about it yet in this stream, and so, Jebb, if you want to, I'll give it back to you. But what's really cool about Cardano is there's not necessarily a whole heck of a lot happening in the news. The big thing right now is that ADA is now completely decentralized, and I know we have an article on that if you want to pull that one up. But the other thing is, listen, guys, Cardano's kind of slowed down, and you guys know this. We all know this. It's slowed down. We had that massive spike, what was that, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? Mm-hmm. And then it dropped back down and is not really doing much of anything. And from a technical side, which you already covered the technicals on it, there's really not a lot of exciting things happening. But that being said, with the idea of it being completely decentralized, with the idea of Charles Hoskinson's now actually pursuing smart contracts and NFTs, and the fact that, look back over Q1, and I think we have an article on that too with a chart showing, you guys, if you invested in Cardano on January 1st, you did the most gain for your buck of all altcoins. It was the top performing altcoin of all of quarter one. I think rising by well over, 500%? Was it more than that?
559%.
559%. So just because we've seen a slowdown the last 2 weeks does not mean Cardano is done. Like, it was a big coin in Q1, and it wasn't really even doing much of anything. Mm-hmm. What's going to happen when Cardano actually starts doing things? Give us your opinion in chat. Do you think Cardano will surpass Ethereum, or do you think Ethereum is regaining control?
And guys, I absolutely agree with everything Tim just said. I have to say one thing about what's going on in chat. Everyone is talking, not everyone, but some people are talking about how, I don't need to use a stop loss for this reason, or I don't need to use a stop loss for that reason, or I'm a speculator, I don't need to use stop losses, or just put a stop loss $1 above liquidation.
Oh, man.
Guys, I want to preface this with, I love you. I've made thousands of trades in my career and millions of dollars from working in cryptocurrency markets. I've been working in this space every single day for the last 3.5 years. I know what I'm talking about when I tell you there's no excuse to not use a stop loss. But hang on, but Jebb, what about this? But Jebb, what about that? But Jebb, what about that? No. Period. I say this in kindness, guys. I say this because I don't want you to get burned. Never enter a trade without a stop loss. 20 people probably just clicked off because they're like, Jebb, don't tell me what to do. You came here for my opinion. Here's my opinion. And here's the fact. Never trade without a stop loss. There's no reason to trade without a stop loss. It doesn't take but 10 seconds to set a stop loss. And by the way, guys, especially if you're using leverage trading, you always want to set a stop loss. And no, you don't want to set a stop loss $1 above or $100 above liquidation. You want to set your stop loss based on the percentage that you can lose. So if you are on 100x leverage, going down by 1% means you're going to get liquidated and you're going to lose everything. You don't want to set your stop loss $1 above your liquidation price because, oh my gosh, I just went from losing 100% of my trade to 99% of my trade. Whoop-de-freaking do. I just turned my $100 into $1. What are you going to do with that? You're not going to do anything with that. Here's a rule of thumb. Your stop loss should generally, for everyone who's willing to listen to me here in my wisdom, generally speaking, a stop loss, you want to be no more than a 15 to 30% loss from your entry. So calculate that based on whatever leverage you're in if you're using leverage trading. You never want to enter a trade with a stop loss where you could lose 70% of your position. Why would you put yourself in that spot? Why not just make the trade and enter from the correct spot first? I don't want to preach at you guys. I don't want to try and be your mom. I'm not your mom. I'm really not. I promise. I promise, guys, I did not give birth to you. I'm not trying to do that. But at the end of the day, for everyone who's watching this, you are wrong, being clear, and the people in the stream need to know that. So had to make that point. Had to make that point.
Wrong about stop losses?
Wrong about not using stop losses. Yeah. You always use a stop loss. Thank you guys so much for that.
Yeah, no, there's some massive horror stories from not using stop losses.
And guys, to be clear with you, the reason that I am... The reason that I'm so adamant on stop loss is because I have heard so many... Bitcoin would have to go down 50%, right? Someone said, what about 2x leverage? Here's the deal. No leverage or 200x leverage. Don't care. Use a stop loss. Here's the deal. If you're on 2x leverage, Bitcoin would have to go down 50% to get liquidated, right? Right. But do you want Bitcoin to go down 40%, so you're down 80% on your trade and then have to exit there for some reason? It's not going to happen. But no, you don't want to do that. You want to set a stop loss so that if you're going to lose more than 25-30% of your trade, then you'll exit and you can re-enter at a lower level. At the end of the day, if you're using proper technical analysis and you're using proper trade setups and you're using proper understanding of the market, then you won't have to get into that position in the first place. But it's very important, guys, that you use a stop loss. That is just like someone said, your example shows getting into a trade that's ultimately high point and putting a stop loss like 2% below that. That's crazy trading. Nope, not necessarily. Good deal, guys. All righty. So, what are we going to do to wrap out the stream? Non-crypto, the beard, invisible beard, Tim. What are we thinking? What is the last thing that we want to cover here? Because we have quite a lot.
Yeah, so I think actually what we're going to do is let you guys be a little bit... let you guys anticipate the Ethereum video this afternoon where he fully breaks down his technical analysis, but also...
Someone said they got liquidated and lost $120,000.
No, they did not. Oh my god!
This is why I'm telling you guys, don't make the same mistake that he did. Thank you for learning your lesson. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
That's a house, guys. That's a college payment for your kids. Don't fall into that trap. I'm serious. I'm sorry. It's important. Don't make that mistake. Guys, I just want to be very clear on our stance here on this channel. There are a lot of people that watch this channel, and there are a lot of people in cryptocurrency that think they know everything. They think that there's nothing that I can learn from Jebb. They think there's nothing I can learn from the crypto beard, or there's nothing I can learn from XYZ and the third. Here's the deal. We are talking to the people that are willing to learn. We are talking to the people that are willing to humble themselves and understand that they don't know everything. Socrates once said that I alone am the wisest of all the Greeks. The Oracle has said that I alone am the wisest of all the Greeks. Why? Because I alone of all the Greeks know that I know nothing. Stop. The first philosopher in human history, Socrates, understood that the concept of wisdom was based in the concept of humility. So guys, understand when we're giving you good advice and we're telling you, hey, you need to do this, you should probably go and do your research on. It's very important. We are here to educate you guys. We're here to tell you, hey, this is something that you need to be thinking about. So please take our help on those kinds of things because we have seen people get very, very hurt, and we want to make sure that doesn't happen to you because at the end of the day, we care very deeply about you. Kelly said, I got liquidated a year and a half ago and lost $70,000. Learn from others' mistakes. Exactly. Perfect, guys. So, Tim, you were saying something before I jumped in there. What happened?
Well, first of all, shout out to Stumps. I don't have a camera, so I was looking right at you in the eyeballs, but just imagine my face looking at you.
Shout out to Stumps.
No, we're going to wrap out the stream, and as I said, we're going to cover more Ethereum in the video today.
Yes.
So you guys have been asking for it, so we are giving it to you because we love you guys. That being said, the breaking news about our price predictions. So as you guys have been seeing, we have been doing price predictions almost daily. We are going to be changing that. So we are not doing a price prediction today for Monday, but rather from here on out, on Monday mornings, make sure to tune in because we are going to give our Friday price predictions on all 3 coins of Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Cardano. And then we will get to kind of track the whole week to see where we are going with that before we announce the winners on Friday. So that's the news I have on the price predictions. If you are Team Tim or the new team, we're going to change that name up, Team Beard. Make sure you comment in the chat. If you're Team Tree, comment that. Or for you guys who have been here for a long time and you just love Team Jebb, comment Team Jebb. At the end of the day, you know who's for the people.
Drop a 1 for Team Jebb if you're an OG fan of the channel. Someone said that they turned $30,000 into $300,000 and then went bust. That sucks. Someone also said, let's see here. Jebb, how do you convince someone that crypto is going to be big? I'm going to answer this and then we're going to get on to wrapping out the stream. Guys, how do you convince someone that crypto is big? I will end with this. The reason that cryptocurrency, and specifically the reason that Bitcoin is going to be big, is because fiat currency, as controlled by the federal governments of the world, is dangerous. It's a failing system. It's a system that you can learn more about by reading the book, The Bitcoin Standard by Safadine Almos. I highly encourage you guys to read that book. I'm not going to go into all of it right now. I will simply allude to it, and I will make the point that fiat currencies are very dangerous for you. They're very dangerous for your wealth. They're very dangerous for your money. They are very dangerous to your family, and they're very dangerous to society. Bitcoin conquers that threat through limited supply. Go read the book if you want more information on that, my friend. It's a very important question. How do we convince people that cryptocurrency is going to be big? Show them the writing on the wall, because the last 3 years have been very indicative that cryptocurrency is growing very fast. So, guys, we will go ahead and wrap it out here. Tim, what do we have?
That's it.
That's it. Guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's live stream. If you did enjoy today's stream, consider hitting that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Like I said, there will be an Ethereum price prediction video coming out a little bit later. If you're interested in that, make sure to stay tuned. I look forward to getting back on camera again in that fashion. If you haven't already, consider joining the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. The link's in the description box down below. You can learn everything you need to know about technical analysis, and through learning technical analysis, you will learn how to trade and profit in markets safely in such a way that you're not going to make $35,000 and lose all of your money because you got screwed. Guys, if you want to learn more, hit the link, bitcoinacademy.teachable.com. The link's in the description down below. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's live stream. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.